Guys, welcome back to another episode of Unmotivated. And we are sitting down here. Look, I'm gonna introduce yourself, man, because I'm gonna be lying if I say I remember your name.
Yeah, my name's Shawn.
Shawn.
Shawn Cotton, CEO of Say Cheese. I'm an investor. I do a lot of different things.
Okay, and so we've got Jamil.
Mm-hmm.
Jamil, why'd you tell him to come here? I'm playing, man. I'm playing, man. Well, look, go ahead and tell him about a little bit more about what you do, man. I looked up some of your stuff, I think, on the way. I said, so they said, Say Cheese, right?
Yeah.
And you guys got to remember, I'm like a candid kid.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what's going on half the
Right.
time, man. Now, clearly, you're a business owner. Walk us through all the business you own and how they function and what you do and why people should contact you to do business as well.
I own a media company. I interview artists. I break artists. I promote artists. Labels pay me. Independent artists pay me.
What is breaking an artist?
So an artist you may not know about, he may be talented or may have a shock factor. He'll get posted on Say Cheese. We have over 3-4 million followers on all our accounts, 5 million. And then boom, he may get a deal. He may go viral. He may not go viral. They may boo him off the stage. They may love him. So like artists like Rod Wave, I found him. Rob 49, I got him his deal. Spot him got him that went double platinum. He's in jail now, but it's it's a lot of artists that hey, these kids, you can't tell these kids what to do. But make a long story short, like I find some of these artists that y'all listen to every day, they come from my tree. So
Oh man, that's crazy.
yeah, I'm in real estate and everything else.
How did you find Rod Wave? I mean, the breaking thing is kind of like I know some pimps. So, when you like I broke them in, you go, wow.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, what's really going on here?
Rod Wave. This girl that works with me, I don't like saying work for me, but works with me. Her name is Quaisha. She lives in Orlando. She's always on like the Florida scene. She sent him to me. I went up to New York. I went to Alamo Records. I sit down with their lead A&R, got him his deal, and then they worked him.
Tell me a little bit about the A&R thing. And I'm only when I say I'm pulling information from all the shit that I read and see. You know, back in the day, and we've seen interviews where Kanye talk about ARs being the issue at times.
They are. Yeah, A&Rs, they're cool. I know some cool A&Rs, but they're like slave masters now. Like, they only like shit if it has big numbers. They don't believe in anything. If they don't believe in anything from the gut or just because they like it, they're not good tastemakers. They only like numbers now. So all these people in the label, they just look at numbers and if it's moving and if it's working. They don't see anything that has that is just raw talent and just sign it. Them days are over.
You think for now, and when you saying like the numbers, does that mean these people need to come with some type of like what's the app that they get, SoundCloud type things?
TikTok and shit like that. Like you have to have something that's going viral. Yeah, like they're just not gonna just come across. It's very rare that an A&R see something they like that has no numbers, nothing, and they just grab it. Those days are done. So that's why they come to people like me. And there's other platforms out there that you can go to go viral. It's not just me, but I'm like top 3. So.
Well, it sounds like because you do business that it wouldn't be it wouldn't just behoove people to come to you for the purposes of going viral, but more so to make sure they're being protected in terms of getting involved in the industry.
Exactly. Yep.
That sounds like a better opportunity.
Yeah.
And then what are the things you look for when you're looking at an artist, since you don't like you ain't running by the numbers, you're running by like, yo, I think this dude's going.
What time you wake up in the morning? I don't like working with people that are on drugs and they're just waking up at 3 p.m. Because I like being done with my day by noon. So I wake up 6, 7 in the morning and I like being done with everything by noon. If we're not on that type of hustle grind, I don't want to work with you. Man. And then another thing too is if you're an artist and you're texting me like, so what we doing? And it's like you waiting on me. It's like, no, if we're a partnership, we got to be on a partnership type of basis.
So you like proactive people too? You like proactive people?
Yeah, for sure. You got to be productive. You got to be, every day you got to be doing something to make the situation better or grow.
That's crazy.
I'm not really, now the music has to be good, but you have to have the personality too. People like being entertained. It's not like the 90s where, like I said, you have to have good music. You have to be, people like to be entertained. So like, I'm trying to think of girls like the City Girls or the Sexy Red. Sexy Red blew up too because of the off the court antics as well. She's not the best artist, but
At all.
she knows how to entertain. You know what I'm saying?
You just-
She's gonna go to the award shows with that little stack of money and twerk and talk about how she has STDs, and she knows how to keep the people engaging. So if you don't have a personality in today's age, it's really hard for you to blow up in music.
That's crazy.
The good music shit is done. Like, I'm keeping it real with you.
So
The
no more
label's
good music.
not worrying about if your music is good or not. It's can you engage? Can you entertain? Can you make a TikTok? Those good music days are over.
And you think social media was a contributor to that?
Social media ruined everything. Society. When's the last time you went outside and you seen kids playing basketball and you had to stop your car and wait for them to get out the street? Those days are over.
Well, I think you're from Philly, so there's probably a lot
Yeah.
more folks doing that there. But
Exactly.
yeah, we live in a neighborhood where that kind of still goes on. You got to like drive slow, homie.
Yeah.
But in your defense, I you know.
But you get what I'm saying.
No, 100% true, man. I think they're lacking the ability to investigate as well, like just life. Like, you're gonna lose some instinct that we got,
Yeah.
because we was in the streets every day, 7 days a week, wandering around town,
Exactly.
riding our bike, getting in fights, fucking stuff up, man.
Yep.
That is crazy, man. So real estate, what do you do in real estate, man?
Well, I do fix and flips. I do. I just bought like 4 blocks in Fort Worth, so I just bought like a little mini neighborhood. I'm about to start developing. I do it all, man.
Yeah.
Like I buy, like I just like South Dallas right now. They're gentrifying the whole South Dallas because they're about to build the bullet train from Dallas to Houston.
Yeah.
So like 5-6 years ago, I bought a lot for like $28,000. That same lot right now is worth $130. just holding on to it.
Well, they say that most good real estate takes 10 years to.
Yeah, it does.
A good 10 years is where you'll see a good return on your
A
investment.
good return. Yep. And now, if I hold on to it for another, because South Dallas, all that's getting gentrified. Like if I show you the houses down there now, it looks totally different. Like they're raising the taxes, and a lot of people down there can't afford the taxes, so it's kicking them out.
Where they going if they can't go? Because South Dallas is South Dallas.
They're going to like Pleasant Grove. A lot of people are moving like more south to like Red Oak, DeSoto, Cedar Hill area. They're moving south. They're moving more south. And if a lot of people, they can't really afford that, they're moving more east towards like Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove's really
And
really
you
bad.
are from Dallas, I presume.
I'm from Philly,
Oh,
but
that's
I grew
right.
up.
I
Yeah,
just said it.
but he's been in Philly longer than me. Like he still got the accent. I don't got the accent no more. But my whole family's from, like, I don't have no cousins or people down here. Like my whole family's from Philly.
They still there.
Still there.
Nobody came just be like they're watching you
my
succeed.
mom and dad, my mom, just my intermediate family.
So when you know you was a businessman, because I think sometimes when you get involved in this, you know, all the stuff it sounds like you're doing, even myself, just like we talked off camera about the things we're thinking about, you know, you're looking left, but I'm going right. And part of looking left is, I said, don't get caught up in what you see us post social media wise. I'm with people in the right rooms trying to strategically figure out how to place myself in the right place 5 years from now.
Right.
5-10 year journey. So when did you realize you was about business and wanted to learn more and just make smart moves?
When Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out and my mom wouldn't buy it for me. And I said, you know what? And I used to steal my dad's tools, like, cause we used to have like a little bike club, and I used to steal his tools and shit like that. And then as I got older, I started stealing, instead of the screwdrivers and wrenches, I started stealing like his lawnmower and weed eater.
What was your dad? So you wasn't stealing. I mean, you was.
No, I wasn't stealing, but I was just taking it.
I mean, like I'm
You know,
at the
as you
neighbor's
grow up,
house
you just
shaking
stop-
him down for his lawnmower. Like,
No. I just like would stop asking, like, and I would go door to door, and I would like ask like my neighbors like $20, like, yo, I'll cut your yard, and some people would say yeah, and after a while I have $100, and then that just was like that would change my life, because my mom and dad, they really wouldn't give me nothing. They really wouldn't.
and did they
I
not
had to
have
work for
anything
it.
to give, or they were just like figured out?
I mean, they were kind of like figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And then like we weren't rich either. Like my mom and dad were living paycheck to paycheck. So, I mean, after they would buy, you know, the groceries, pay the bills, they wouldn't just give me $100, $200. Grand Theft Auto at the time was like $59.99.
It still is, bro. I think it went up 10%. It's like $69 now, bro.
So I had to go get it, and I wasn't going without San Andreas. I wasn't going without Vice City. I needed that. so I would hustle. Like,
so hold on. Who got you your PlayStation? Because you can't play without.
I mean, Christmas time, my mom and dad, we wasn't messed up. Like Christmas time, they would deliver, but you know, in between that, you still had to get it.
A lot of good stuff going on mid-year though. You like
mid-year, so yep, I'll never forget that. I saved up the money. Then back when Fry? Is it Fry?
Yeah, FYE.
Yep, yep. I'll never forget. I got my money and she took me up there. My own money though. Yep. So that's when I start like, okay, bet. Like my mom and dad kind of put me in that like mental state to where you got to get it regardless. So. Yeah. You know, I wasn't selling drugs and none of that. These stories that these rappers be saying. I was really like, you know, whatever it took, like cutting grass.
And so then your first big business deal, what was it? And, you know, what did it do to your mind as you continued to like?
This Indian guy, All-Star Weekend in 2009. At this time, I was working at Home Depot, like the Best Buy distribution center, like washing like refrigerators and shit, like the refurbished stuff.
Oh, shit.
And an Indian guy, he was throwing a party during All-Star Weekend. This had to be 2009. Whenever All-Star Weekend was in Dallas. And he had me be like he hit me up because my MySpace was popping. That's how I met Jamil, right? On MySpace. And I remember he threw an All-Star party and all my people were there. Like none of his people were there. Like
an Indian dude.
He pimped me. So it was like he all his people, all my people were there. None of his people were there. And then my homeboy, Giorgio Lacey hit me up and he was like, man, you need to start throwing your own stuff. So then I had threw a party called Call of Duty. You know Call of Duty, the video game? Did you go to any of these parties? Yeah. And I threw a party called Call of Booty and Valentine's Stoplight Party and just a few other parties, Mega Ball, and they would be packed out. And then that's when I got into like, all right, everybody's starting to become a promoter now. I got to start something else. And that's when I started Say Cheese.
You know, so that part right there. So now talk to people about the importance of not getting stuck. Because some people can't see the future because they're living in the present. But the present is now we're getting saturated in this particular market. Yeah. So if you're not going to become the best, meaning like, okay, if I want to compete now, I need to open 5 clubs.
Yep.
And in 5 clubs, I need to be able to duplicate in Vegas, Cali, Miami. But if I'm not going to do that, then I need to pivot and do something different.
Because I started seeing people that was in my line throwing parties. So I'm like, damn, this stuff like, it's kind of like you selling dope to, the person you were selling dope to now selling dope. So I was like, damn. And then 2010 or 2011 summer, I went back to Philly. I was working at Home Depot pushing carts. It took me like 4 weeks to save up for a flight because I was only making like $7 or $8 an hour. Man, I was making minimum wage.
Hey, that's brutal on a kid, ain't it?
Yo, bro? It's hot as shit. I'm already dark. It's hot as shit. Summertime, I swear to God, I can call my mom right now. It took me like 4 weeks to save up for a flight. And then I went back to Philly. And then I started seeing like the DVD stuff still going on up there. So I said, I'm gonna start this shit in Texas. And then next thing you know, that shit just went crazy. We Run the Streets. Yep, all that. So
you start. You started.
Well, Say Cheese, I started that, but I didn't come up with the idea. I went up home. I went up north and seen that they were still doing that, and I brought it down here. Yep. And then now the DVD stuff's like obsolete now. It's no more DVD. Everything's just YouTube vlogging now. But at that time, it was still like you still had the vlog and you know stuff like that.
So how much money did you have to save? You know, so you go through the Home Depot thing.
So I was working I quit Home Depot when I went up to Philly. I quit. So when I came back, that's when I started working at the Best Buy distribution center. And I was cleaning refrigerators, watching Vlad TV, watching like everybody. But I'm cleaning refrigerators and all that. And I had through Call of Duty 2.5. I swear to God, this is all documented. I had threw it in Denton, Texas at UNT Halloween party. and we made like 5 bands, me and my guy. He put up, because he went to school at UNT. So he found the club. So I was like, since you found the club, we could break it down 50-50. So we made like $4,800, $5,000, and me and him split it. So for my 2,500, I went and got a MacBook off Craigslist. I went and got a camera, and I had $17 left. I promise you not. I had $17 left. After everything, no. After I had everything. So I ended up getting fired from the distribution job because they caught me with my phone. Like I'm washing the thing, like, but having my phone. So I kind of like got caught up. So before they could fire me, I kind of like stormed out because my ego. I ain't want them to seem like they fired me. So then I just text my mom, and I'm like, just don't give up on me. I got a plan. And my dad, at the time, I'm living with my mom and dad. My dad wanted to kick me out the whole time because he looked at me as like a 21, 22-year-old dude. He looked at me as like a 21, 22-year-old dude still living with my mom. So he looked at me as a failure.
Yeah.
My mom was the hustler.
Isn't that crazy?
My dad was by the book.
You know, look, and this is, I don't know your dad and mom. What I would tell you is I got a buddy whose mom won the lottery, and as he got older, he started realizing that his mom was his go-to because she was the dog. Dad was like accountant, straightforward, black and white. He couldn't see vision at times where mom might build. Yeah. She bought a whole suite to put 8 beauticians in Canada out there. And he was like, he's like, nigga, by the time I was there, I said, Mom, you should have been divorced this nigga. He was like, this nigga got no future. You didn't won the lottery. You didn't invested in me. Yeah. You didn't believe. He said, fuck dad. You know, and I'm like, whoa, my man, I don't even know your pops. But it's the irony also when I hear mothers, complain about what they can't achieve, what they can't do. Bill Gates' mom was probably one of the most influential people in his life. And her dad was one of the first bankers to own a bank, to be clear, in Seattle, Washington. So we don't think a lot of times, I think some people don't highlight the women enough at times. So mom's sitting at the like, yo, I got you. Dad's like, fuck you. What happens next?
But so one day I'm at work and I knew, like, my mom and dad was married 28, 32 years.
Yeah.
So they always had ups and downs, but when I tell you I came home from the Best Buy distribution center one time, and he left. My dad left. So if
he left for like a week or left for to go to work?
No, like they split up. Like, and he wrote us a long letter. But to my point, if he would have stayed, I would have got kicked out.
Oh man.
So it's like, wow. So then my mom needed me to help around the house, pick up my little sister from school. So now I got a reason it bought me a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So yeah, man. My dad didn't see the vision. My mom seen the vision. And I'm still good with my dad.
I was about to say, do y'all talk to this day?
Yeah, hell yeah. I still talk. My dad was a great dad. He just, at the time, he just one of them black parents that's like, when you turn 18, you know. And it's just,
you know what? So do you have kids?
I got one, yeah.
Okay, so what's one of the things, and we'll get back to the business stuff, I think the challenge sometimes is when you look at the Indians, the Hispanics, and others, they allow and even the white folks, if we're being honest, sometimes they had to get him $300,000 or just buy the house. Like, hey, you need a house? Here you go. Why do you think we at times put our people, let alone family, in such a stasis in terms of like struggle? Like, they've been hustling and struggling out. When I turn 18, I'm supposed to have it all figured out?
Exactly.
You're like, come on, cuz. They don't. It's going to take way. The average person's mind, they've done studies, the brain doesn't actually develop until it's in its 30s. So you think about Rockefeller at 33, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and then what they did for the next 20 years in identifying markets, and they had good habits. And all, they worked real hard in their 20s, but it was in the 30s that it began to make sense.
If you look at Hispanics, it's like 11 of them in one house. But what they're doing is they're stacking money together, starting companies.
Yeah.
All that it's impossible to do that in your 20s, early 20s, when you're just trying to figure it out.
And even I said something to my guy Maul over here, and the guy identified them being 31, 27, and 29, and saying, calling themselves young. You go, young? nigga wouldn't have had another day after 18 in a black house. but these niggas, like, we were young at 31, raising $150 million to invest in this fund. You go,
Yeah.
nigga, let me tell my mom, look, in about 10 years now, I figured out, she'd be like, you better get your black ass out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do love, and I hope people don't overlook that part, is that you were doing a laborer's type job. You were wiping refrigerators, and there's no, what I didn't see in terms of your face was, you know, you being like, oh, that's bad. It's like, yo, that's a part of your story, man.
I talk about all that. Like, I used to sell fake car insurance. Real shit. Wait, did you get that? So no, I used to sell fake doctor notes too, not for like drugs or anything.
Yeah.
But like let's say you want to call out from work, I will give you. My mom would put up fake doctor notes to where you won't get like a write up, and then I had fake car insurance too, to where as though if you get pulled over, you don't get a ticket.
I can't breathe, my bro. I can't.
Real shit. I'm glad he's right here because he's been knowing me for so long. All this is like real. Like, yeah, real shit. Real shit.
Hey, that's crazy. So now let's just talk
and
about.
And my mom would do all this for me, and I would break her off. Like, yo, we made $200 this week, and I give her, because she would charge me $50 a week to stay there, $200 a month.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. They give you responsibility. People don't understand that. So walk them through that too, man. How important is it to be responsible, especially as a young black man, and really learn responsibility in terms of paying bills, accountability, and then, as you said, supporting, helping pick up sister. All those little things make you a better man.
Yeah, and just like, I just don't, it don't sit right with me too. Like, I don't ever feel like, I don't want anybody to ever feel like I'm taking advantage of them. Like, I want to come in with groceries, making sure everything is straight too. Like, cause I didn't want to ever feel like I was a burden living at the house.
Man, bro.
Like, I wanted it to be like, okay, he's an addition to the house. You feel me? So that's why she would charge me $50 a week, $200 a month, but I would always overdo that.
Yeah, of course. So what's some of your best advice for those people that are struggling right now mentally, black, African-American, white man, whoever, trying to figure out, you know, how to stay motivated when it feels like the world's falling apart?
Everything you see on Instagram is a lie.
Hey, tell me about it.
Because a lot of people get discouraged. They get on Instagram, and like even in my early stages when I would get on Instagram, I would still be hard on myself because Instagram will make you in like competitions that you don't even need to be in. You feel what I'm saying? You start competing with other people that you see online, and it's just like, just focus on yourself. I always tell people 10,000 hours, man.
Hey,
just put in that 10,000 hours.
You speak in my language, but you know, I built the whole page off flip flops and mismatched socks, and you know, even with you coming in, you know, somebody like, oh, so and so's coming, he's got a big following. You know, this nigga might get dressed up and like this. Nigga, I'm in my holy fit shirt, nigga. Like, this is a work day for me. You know, and ain't nothing gonna change that. And I love even seeing you and basic gear per se. And there's more people I've met with more wealth of knowledge, wealth of information, wealth in terms of actually ability to save, invest, that aren't worried about what they're doing versus what needs to get done.
Exactly.
And social media, as you talked about. Hey, did you know? I said, I don't watch no stories. I have no clue what's going on. I know what we need to do.
Exactly.
And if I stay focused on that, we'll figure it out. But the minute I get caught up in what they doing over there, like, bro, it ain't none of my business, bro. It literally is none of my business.
Exactly. And I'm the same way. And
so mom lets you back in the house. Dad leaves. You turn around.
Well, she never kicked me out. She never kicked me out. But it was a point to where as though my mom and dad were together, and my dad would hint to like kicking me out, or like, yo, so what are you doing with your life, or what are you planning, you know? And
let me ask you though, did you even think that you had the skills to go? I think sometimes, think about where you're at today, for instance. It seems like you're very well versed, you're communicative, it seems like you're very clear, you're addictive. Sometimes parents think they did more than they did, because if you didn't learn about even the value of a dollar in terms of how to save it, invest in that stuff, you go, y'all didn't prepare me for this world. School didn't prepare me for this world. They didn't prepare
me for nothing. I had to learn.
And I'm in the same boat along with the people in this room, because you go, we didn't get a handout. We've got no generational wealth being passed on.
They didn't teach us credit or nothing.
So, mind you, the first time I learned about that, it's a sickening experience, right? Because you go, I thought all I needed was a job. They're like, you got no rental history. I'm like, what is rental history?
Bro.
You go, this is getting real bad out here, man.
When the IRS sent me that letter through the mail and I seen that number and I had to go get an accounting, I'm talking about the IRS said I owed them $1 million.
Oh shit.
Got it. I got it down to 150 though. Write-offs. I see stuff I didn't. All these different. I should have had stuff in different accounts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Because when again you start talking about preparing, so they want to put you out to figure it out, but they didn't figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying?
Real
talk.
You go, so mom, did you know that you could account for such and such, save this?
Mm-hmm.
No, I had no clue.
Exactly.
You go, well, guess what? You didn't teach me either. And then here you go put me out in this evil world.
Yep.
Because the world's a wicked place.
Because there's so many holes in the IRS too that I learned. Like you could, you got any kids?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
he does though. All of them do.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Like
literally every nigga over here got kids. Not me though.
Yeah, you can have your kids under salary, and that's a write-off.
See what I'm saying? That kind of shit. I've seen that though.
Yeah,
but
up to $12,000 a year though.
But $12,000, you can still get it back. I know how the tax stuff works. But you go, so you didn't know that, mom? And even what you giving her, you get my point though.
Yeah,
preparation is key in this life, and none of us prepare for even the success. I had a mother one time. I was taking pictures of her son, for instance, and I built a fitness business, and he ended up going to Wisconsin. Super good athlete. She said, Trev, what are you going to do with those pictures? I said, post them. I said, but he's a part of this T-Fit thing. So, I mean, I take pictures of all the kids. All of them get their photos. There's 5 kids on my phone right now from 10 years ago. Yeah. She says, well, my fear is people taking advantage of my son. I didn't know he was going to grow up and be this great. I said, yeah, you did. And then that's the human in me says, right. You spend all of your time speaking with him, pouring into him, showing up for him. Here you are doing a workout with him because you still believe in him. I said, you knew he was going to be great. You didn't expect him to be less than. Now, what you might not have prepared him for is how the world's going to treat him. Right. I said, but I don't live in that world, I promise. Right. And that calmed her down drastically because I edified her, which is I tell people, master edification early because there's going to be a lot more people concerned with things that aren't a concern versus kind of like the reality we live in. And in your case, like you said, Instagram ain't real. Exactly. So as you move from you in mom's house, you helping her, man. What's the next big move?
I start hitting the road. So instead of a local blog site, I would travel to New Orleans. I would travel to St. Louis. I would travel everywhere. Atlanta. I would go to Atlanta once a month. I would go to Philly a lot. I want to hear y'all's voice back. Okay? That's annoying. That's annoying. But I would travel to expand Say Cheese because I didn't want it to just be a Dallas platform. And no,
please do tell how you came up with Say Cheese, man. I gotta know.
I'd rather say that for another because I gave somebody their credit and they tried to they keep going crazy.
Oh, so they going.
I gave it was a
And it's look, if it's a Negro involved, trust me, this.
Reed Dollars had a mixtape called Say Cheese back in the day, and I just I don't know, I just was like fuck it, Say Cheese, and I just popped up. But Reed Dollars was my favorite battle rapper back in the day, and I gave him his flowers on Vlad TV, and now he's throwing it back in my face, and I'm like, nigga, I told you, I gave you your flowers, nigga, was this a name on your mixtape?
Bro, first of all, people been saying
that's not even on. Yeah, niggas been saying Say Cheese forever.
Probably 1,000 years.
And I didn't want the name Say Cheese is a real corny name, and I wanted to keep it like that because I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to scare the white people away. I'm just keeping it real. It's a whole bunch of different get money this and nigger names, and it's just I wanted to keep my shit to where it's just broad to every arising.
So what's the fear in the nigga? And trust me, I get it.
It's hard to cross over. Yeah, it's hard to cross over and be mainstream.
And when you say crossover, you mean
not sell out, but just if I want to cross over, or if let's say if Amazon wanted to buy my shit, it's still appealing to every genre of people. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
It don't scare away nobody.
You're speaking my language, my friend. Yeah. And I think people don't think about that future either because now mind you, there's $1.3 trillion in the African-American community, which you can literally get. Right. But the issue is you want to go vertical per se at time or horizontal, and vertical is, let's go up, all the way up. And how do we go up? Well, you create a ceiling if you don't think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is you could do more and potentially get more dollars if you don't create a niche.
Exactly. I get exactly what you're saying.
So for one, thank you a ton for even, I guess giving old boy his flowers again. So
Yeah.
and let me tell you this, Negro, if you listen to this one, get over yourself, buddy. Let it go, nigga. Nigga didn't have to do like you could have said say cheese and never nobody even considered
I'm
him.
trying to give him his. I don't know, man. People are different, but yeah, with the say cheese thing, I was just going.
So you hit the road though, and then start
New
recording.
Orleans, St. Louis, Atlanta, Philly, Detroit, Chicago. Chicago played a crazy role in my brand, with just the whole drill thing going on. And then that changed my life when I went to Chicago. My YouTube, I would make from like, my YouTube, I will make maybe $10 a day at a point in time, to $25 a day. And then when I left Chicago, I was making like, one Christmas, 1 month I made 16,000, and then I never looked back. I made my first 100 grand. I didn't tell my mom. This was Christmas of 2016. I never told my mom because when you tell people you have a big lump sum of money, everything changes.
And isn't that crazy though? And they mind their whole life changes.
Yeah.
And your mind, because you're thinking about compounding your growth. Like, yo, if I did 160, I could do this much more the next time. They start paying off all their bills and selling you all their dreams. And you're like, whoa, this is my money, goddammit.
Yeah, exactly. And I was scared because when I seen 100,000, I thought it was gonna stop. And that's when I was just like, man, maybe I just got lucky. Like, maybe this shit only gonna last for a year. Maybe it's maybe it may slow down. And then I remember it was crazy. My sister, I had $116,000 in my PayPal. And my older sister came over and I remember it was, I was sitting down at the computer blogging, and my older sister came over and she said, so what do you plan on doing with your future? Like nobody knew. Like nobody knew.
That you had anything.
They knew I was working on Say Cheese, but they didn't know, like they didn't understand it.
But the beauty about that is, two people, Amazon was asked the question, Jeff Bezos, he said, when the stock market crashed in 2008, it was like, you're living in a bubble. He said the stock market did not reflect our balance sheets. So in your mind, you think the stock market controls what we're doing business-wise every day, but we were still, winning per se on the business. So in people's minds, they're saying you hit the road, travel, do all these interviews, post, share, such and such, and then they're like, so what's next?
Yep, that's exactly.
But they don't. But they don't live there, so they go. You go. Well, I could kind of do anything if I choose. Goddamn. But I ain't gonna say shit. But let me hear what you think is next. Because now you got to play dumb,
bro.
And I love that too. Because they're like, well, what are you doing next? It's like, well, I'm gonna keep minding my business. But what do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
So sister comes in and asks you the question. What's your answer?
And then I just kind of like, want to like tell her what's going on, but I don't.
You don't trust her?
But right here, and I don't. I just didn't trust anybody, not just her.
Yeah.
But right here, in the guy, she went on a date with the guy. I guess they went to the movies, and the next day, she woke up and she walked to me and she started crying. Ask my mom. If you ever see my mom again, ask her. But she was just like, yo, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Because her last name is Cotton too. So I guess when she told the dude her name, the dude was like, yo, is your brother such and such? And she was like, yeah. And she said the whole day he wouldn't stop talking about Say Cheese.
Yeah. That's how I feel about these
she
dogs.
woke up to me, so she woke up to me apologizing. Like, yo, I didn't know. And that's just to go to show you, to anybody who has a brand, people don't really support you until they see other people.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Your own people.
Your own people.
Man, look. Man, look, I ain't even gonna go down that rabbit hole because you know how fucking annoying that is?
Man.
Man.
Bro.
Your sister now, she's like, oh shit, this nigga will not shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's my little brother. She don't think enough of what you're doing.
Exactly. And I didn't tell her enough either. But still, it's kind of like,
you think in mind, there's more viewers than doers. So had she just supportively watched what you're doing and even provided constructive criticism at times to say, Shawn, I like that interview. You should have asked him this and that. Perfect. When I go back and do a second interview to him, I'll do this, and that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is simply about being supportive, and that is watching. The irony is, for instance, I do marketing for other companies. I never read my comments. I read everyone else's.
Right.
So when I work for these brands, I have to think about what their communities communicating and solving their problems, but I don't give a shit what niggas think about me because I already understand what the business needs.
Yep.
So sister comes back to apologize. What's the next move you make?
Should I just still keep working?
Yeah.
Like I love my family. I love my sister. But I just still keep working. I still keep working, and then
So when did you know then that Say Cheese was going to be a thing?
bro, just when our Instagram was just keep going up, and like the Drake follow. It's crazy how powerful Drake is. Drake followed us on all three because we got multiple Instagrams. Drake followed us on every one.
And that crazy what a
And
follow
we woke
do.
up one morning. And everybody's like, "Yo, Drake!" It's crazy that people watch who follows who, but yo, Drake
That is
follow
crazy,
you, bro.
ain't it?
Drake follow you, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
It just happened.
yeah.
Though. But you know, respect to Drake because at the end of the day, dude works. He puts out stuff. He's been working since he was a kid, and whether you like Degrassi or not, I mean, dude's been working. And I tell people the most important thing, which it sounds like you've done, is finding your voice, right? And finding what you want to communicate, and then how to put words together. Words are the most dangerous and cheapest thing on earth, but if you can use them effectively, you could turn into a guy like Drake.
Yeah.
But he's also not an anomaly because he works. Kind of like the Beyoncés of the world. It's like, nigga, outwork him.
Exactly.
Outwork him, out, entertain, out communicate, outdo what he's doing, while also, like, what's the nigga got? Maybe 10 interviews total in 10 years?
Yeah, he doesn't do much interviews.
He don't even got to, bro.
He don't.
He don't got, so it's like, let's not sit down and talk, let's work.
Yeah.
So beat him. So Drake was a pivotal moment, it sounds like, in Say Cheese.
Drake was it was a lot of little moments here and there, but just like I said, just keep the groundwork for real. Just traveling, going to certain events, interviewing certain people, going viral, doing other viral interviews, like but yeah, that Drake thing, it opened a lot of people's eyes.
So let me ask you this, is it a viral interview or a value interview? Because what I love even about, look, when I say I've sat down with you, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So we talk about give people their flowers. Thank you a ton for trusting Jamil, not knowing who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
and being willing to sit down and give us some time and say, hey, man, don't rush, you good. Because I tell people that too. If I walk in, I was like, calm down, man. If I chose to be here,
yeah,
I've got time. If I don't want to be here, I would have told you that. I wouldn't even came.
Exactly.
So thank you a ton for showing up and heading out this way. But the value in those interviews, is it a value interview or a viral interview? Because it sounds like you have a good idea now, even more importantly, of what your community is looking for, how to potentially ask questions in a sense, and then what to get from the people that get to sit down with you. And it's kind of indicative of, like Shannon Sharp, right? Why are these people going in there and tell all their businesses? Shannon Sharp of all people.
Right.
Well, they say he's provided a safe space. And that in itself, from a business owner standpoint, is you saying, I know what my people need to hear. So these are...
For example, not to cut you off.
Yo, go ahead. Cut me off anytime.
Charleston White.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
I asked him more about it just before you came because I'm unsure about him, but what about him?
So that's I would call that a value interview because of the gems that he gives. The shock factor. I remember when I first interviewed him, people threatened to cancel me. I lost hella subscribers when I first interviewed him because he started saying the first person he disrespected was like Nipsey, George Floyd, and the guy George Zimmerman. What's Trayvon Martin? Sorry about that. But he was saying F all those guys. So I started losing a lot of
and why was he saying this? Do you know?
Man, that was like I interviewed him like 40 times already. I got to go back and re-listen.
Well, if you don't know, that's fine. And to be clear, people, I got to be honest. If you a lot of times we sit from a victim mentality on one side of the table, and if you ever have a kid, I would encourage you to challenge them to do debate. Debate makes you analyze things from both sides. And then what I learned is I was sitting there with a white guy one time in Kansas. He said, Trevor, the verdict's in. But Trayvon, the court case was tomorrow. So Governor Brownback had texted this guy I'm sitting in a room with and said, tomorrow he gets an email that night saying, hey, make sure that none of your people riot, et cetera, et cetera. And I go, how do you know this? Because I'm friends with such and such. Hey, what would your dad have done if you were at the, getting tea? I said, I can't be out at a certain time. So when Boo Boo, literally I knew a kid named Boo Boo, Little Chris and Bebe, who was shot and thrown over his fence. I mean, these are real people I knew, start acting crazy. My dad said, bring your ass home and you got to weigh the odds. You're like, do I want to deal with Clarence or do I want to deal with these niggas? I can fight all these niggas. I ain't gonna win this fight. It's not worth that. So when you look at the latter, they might hear, and I don't know what Charleston said, an idea and run with it because they're in their feelings and emotion and being black.
Right.
But the reality is whitey don't understand. You know, they just really don't get it. So Trevor, what would have changed if it had been you? I said, one, I'm way bigger than that kid. I said, I've been fighting a lot longer than he has, bro. And I wouldn't be Skittles. My grandfather had an enlarged heart, so you go to my house, there's no candy, no popping. Like, I'm going, my dad, hey, I'm about to go get sweet tea. But like, you better go make some tea, nigga. Was a real
You don't eat candy?
I can't eat candy, bro.
When was the last time you ate candy?
I think somebody, what was we at the other day? A dude walked up to us with a Reese's. I said, I can't eat that. I can't, bro. It literally breaks me into a sweat and give me, I don't get acne. I never had acne. So that stuff will get chocolate and stuff.
Yeah. See, I got a bump right here. My girl said, see, all that fucking lemonade from Chick-fil-A.
So Charleston says something. It was a value interview. What did you get from the interview then? Or all the interviews?
I got that he would say, see, with Charleston, he's a shock jock. He's going to say certain things to bring you in, but at the end of the message, it's a real meaning.
Yeah.
If Charleston came out super positive, nobody would be listening to him. But because he came out super negative, super saying the most disrespectful things, since he came out saying the most disrespectful things, a lot of people Zoom, because people like watching a train wreck. So people will go check it out and then be like, wow. After the message, he'll take in. Like, for example, every time he says something, like he'll say like, fuck Nipsey Hussle. Or he'll say, who else did he diss that a lot of people was mad about? Everybody. King Von. Everybody. Anybody you think of, yeah, because like he'll always be like, y'all mad at me, but y'all never mad at King Von for dissing all those dead people. Y'all always lifting up these rappers and all that, but these rappers be the main one dissing the dead, dissing their own people. But y'all mad at me. Y'all mad at me, old Charleston White. So he'll throw that at you. Like how we're such hypocrites. Yeah. We listen to these people, but we're mad at Charleston White. He went bad on Chape and Boosie. Like, see, Charleston, he was like one of the first people to really like test like people that people are scared of. People never disrespect Jay Prince. People never disrespect Boosie. But he was like the first one to do it. You gotta check it out, man. You gotta check out for yourself.
Well, for me, it's hard to get into the banter of. Now I'm a disrespectful person, so it's like I don't know if I need any more motivation in that regard. But
yeah.
But in my disrespect comes from just my reality. My reality would be like this. Hey, can you tell me about this breeder? I don't fucking know any of you breeders. I don't want to know you. I don't know your fucking. I'm not your fucking friend. I don't give a shit what you doing. Like that's my thing. But I also don't go down the rabbit hole. But
yeah.
I mean, it sounds like I would agree with him.
Yeah.
It don't sound like nothing. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, Charleston makes a lot of sense. It's just harsh reality.
You know, reality is a very unique place to live.
Yeah.
Right? And the reality in some cases is most niggas ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other reality.
Like a lot of people are mad at Charleston now. It's a clip I did. You know, the NFL draft just happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of black athletes are on camera with white women. And Charleston explains why black athletes choose white women. So a lot of people are mad at him about that. And that's a viral clip we did 7 months ago, and it's resurfaced.
It started yeah.
But the points he make are valid. He feels like black women. I don't want to misquote him. You just got to go watch it.
Yeah,
it's dope though.
Well, paraphrase.
Basically, black women they're too. Black women are too much in their feelings. Like. Basically, to paraphrase, white women will let you cheat in peace, and they'll and they'll take care and they'll look out on the business side of things. They're white women are focused on the business side of things. They're not worried about what you're doing with your dick.
So basically, the common interest of the household. So how I look at it from a business standpoint, even what you're saying is, we need to make money, right? Mm-hmm. Now, some people, as we know,
keep money. Make money and keep money.
Lie, cheat, and steal the way to the top, but the business makes money.
Mm-hmm.
So you go, hey, so-and-so, you're like, well.
You can't have both.
Did we make money?
Do you want a faithful man or do you want a guy who's going to... Yeah. So...
Hey.
So people are mad at Charleston about that, but it's so many different...
Well, black people come with a different... You know, I've never seen a group of people so prideful about having nothing. You know, so when you look at our group collectively, if all of us in this room, for instance, have $500 or $100,000, we can go buy something and compound it, right?
Yep.
But then if your 5 friends right now, for those listening, don't have $100,000, and I don't, let me make sure I'm very clear. I don't have $100,000 that I could throw at something, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If 6 niggas in this room, which are in this room physically right now, all had $100,000 that they could lose, and we could take that and then go and gain, and we was able to invest, like you said, you split with your homie such and such, and then like I bought a little lot. That lot now is worth this. You're like, yo, well, let's pull from that. There's not 9 out of 10 niggas who are mad or prideful about where they at or where they not. They don't have 5 friends that have $100,000 to go invest in something to grow and get out of their predicament and actually be prideful about some shit they own or built.
Right.
So I'm always confused when people raise their hand or talk out of term or get real rowdy, and I'm like, nigga, you don't own anything.
Exactly.
You don't even own your own time. You got to go to work tomorrow.
Real shit.
You got to get up, go do something you hate because the rent's due.
Yeah.
The bills got to be paid. The kids need to eat. And you didn't think about that either when you was trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
So I get confused. Like, and again, I've not watched or been able to watch a lot of interviews because it doesn't entertain me.
Yeah.
I love business. That's what I thrive in. But I know our challenges.
I think Charleston, I think if you was to watch 2 Charleston interviews, you'd be entertained. Charleston's one of the people that if you don't watch interviews, you know Charleston.
You know, I know who he is, and I've seen clips pop up.
Yeah.
And he's got that lazy eye.
Yeah. He look like a real character off the Boondocks, like real dude. Real shit. Like if they were to remake the Boondocks, he would be a character for it. Real shit.
So look, go ahead and tell us a little bit then about the future of Say Cheese and where you want to land. Clearly, as you said, you're invested in helping artists. Music's probably always going to speak to your soul.
Yeah.
You definitely going to keep doing the interview thing. And you know, what about interviews intrigues you?
Just learning. I'm really. I could be antisocial, just like working on my social skills.
Oh man, you speaking to the choir here, bro.
For real.
I literally, like, why would I talk to them? The literal person in me goes, I'm good. But
just to keep my vocabulary sharp, like
bro, putting things together, all that shit.
And then just making people happy too. Like when I'm out and about, people, I'm always like, yo, I let the fans dictate everything. So if the fans want it, I go get it.
Yeah.
So I'm really like trying to like just do it for my fan base.
That's cool. That's cool. And I just learned to be clear, and maybe you could give me some advice then. The value of a fan. So for me, I put together a 3-year strategy, and Jamal was with me at the ABKC National, something real small but big in the world we live in. And I got to be honest, over 40 people came up to me to take pictures, ask questions, and just thank me for our work. Right, where in my mind, I've got 2 more years of just head down, reading, educating, teaching. But the reality is now we've created these fans.
Yes.
And so then you go, well, how do I support these fans? Because the reason why The Rock is leverageable, Kim Kardashian is leverageable, Kylie Jenner and all these other people are leverageable because they cater to, or at least learn from, work with, and build things around their fan base.
Yep.
And those fans become real supporters, and we got them. I mean, we went to Beast of the East, and one of the first people we saw is probably one of our biggest supporters. Her name's Edith, man. And she's a 50-something-year-old. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. Sorry, Edith, if you listen to this.
Probably gonna be like, nigga, what?
Nigga, black woman who knew all of our names, and she literally was just like, I can't believe I'm seeing y'all.
See?
Like, this is, and in my mind, again, we got more work to do, but she was like, that's your Marcus. And I sat with her, and we talked about her life, and we did an interview, and you go, I never knew we'd reach that. And that's just, what brought you to a dog show? I'd never been to a dog show. On your YouTube, you said you need to go to a dog show. And I wasn't even talking to her, but in her mind, she hears, Fit Bully said, if you've never been to a dog show, this is a show to come to. So she buys a ticket and she goes to her first dog show.
That's dope because of what you said.
Because of her supporting every truth that comes out of my mouth. Wow. So I go, fuck, I probably missed a lot because I'm fuck the fans and I don't even want to be famous.
Nah, bro.
I just want to take care of the dogs.
And I always say Cheese isn't mine. Like, Say Cheese is really the fans. They dictate what's hot. If they don't, in my world though, I can't speak for what you do.
I think it's likewise.
It's kind of like I always once a month I'll go on YouTube in the community chat and I'm like, who do y'all want me to interview? Because I want to keep the engagement high. I want to make them happy, and it's just when you think as a fan and cater to the fans, you won't lose.
Yeah, and I one of the people I'm a fan of is, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and The Rock will get up there different times, hold that front face camera, and thank everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude, in my opinion, still is the highest form of humanity, right? So he'll get up and thank everybody for being support, and he'll do amazing things that he can afford to do to support fans and families and all that. So you go, wow, man, I'm probably missing a component here, and I've got to learn what that looks like. But if you were like, what's the future Say Cheese look like, man? What's it look like, man?
To be honest, I'm doing a lot. So I'm about to get in voice acting.
Oh, shit.
Like I want to get in voice acting and start like doing like, you mentioned The Rock. He did like voice acting for like Moana and shit. So I'm about to like start doing like cartoons and stuff. Voice acting that, voice acting in like documentaries, like narrating. Oh yeah, I'm narrating the Lil Tim documentary.
Who's Little Tim?
He's the one who killed King Von.
And they're doing a documentary?
They're doing a documentary on the whole thing. Like everybody, Hulu, I think Netflix, everybody reached out, and I'm doing the voiceover.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, so I'm about to start voice acting.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things I'm doing.
That's look, and people, I would tell you, those listening who are big supporters of Say Cheese and Shawn's doing is, don't marginalize yourself. And my favorite quote Kanye said was, don't marginalize me.
Yeah, I'm really like a daredevil. Like last year, I told myself I was gonna be a boxer. I fucking lost the fight, but guess what? It just tested myself and not getting bored with shit. Like,
Yeah.
I want to redo that fight too, because they had me, they drained me 10 pounds. I weigh 200.
Yeah.
But I fought that fight at 180. I lost 20 pounds. Yeah. You know how much 20 pounds in 4 days? I had to lose 10 pounds.
Oh my nigga.
Like real shit. I'm not making no excuses. But anyways, to my point.
If you've never boxed before, so you're talking to someone who fancies boxing. My papa was a huge boxing fan. We watched everything. And when you start looking back to Jack Johnson, to all the fighters to this day, 20 pounds physically on the body that's gone in 10 days, you don't even have the conditioning. So mind you, a guy builds up his conditioning, right?
Yeah.
And that conditioning supports 250, I'm 250, 260, something like that. I could support 12 rounds like Ali in the 220 at 13 rounds, 12, 13 rounds. You lose 20 pounds, it does something to you, man.
Bro, I came in so weak, dog. Yeah. Plus my nerves. Oh my God.
And you know what that is too?
So scared.
So you don't have the carb and the fat storage to support all the movements you need to make. People think you lose and you get more.
Bro.
It's the body. So I'm really good at the human body.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. So I get it.
Yeah.
If anybody get it, I get it.
So I'm a daredevil, man. Like I just like to test new things out, like voice acting. Like I'm just trying some shit out. Just to stay sharp. You know what I'm saying?
So I was going to ask you, in the final question we normally ask is, as we close out per se, is what keeps you motivated? But it sounds like being a daredevil's it.
That's it. Failure. Like, what keeps me motivated is to not go back to washing refrigerators. Like real shit. And there's nothing wrong with working a job.
Hey, that's a true story though. You're like, look, I'm not wiping and cleaning out more damn refrigerators.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with working a job. I want to say that because, there's nothing wrong with that, but why go back if I don't have to? Yeah. Why go back?
You don't have to when you have IP, intellectual property, a way in which you can be yourself and thrive in environments like this where, look, I repeat, guy walks in, he don't know me, I don't know him. We sat down and we've exchanged a lot
You're a good interviewer, by the way. How long you been doing this for?
Oh, man, since I was a kid, man. This ain't happenstance. Yeah. I tell them all, bring them to me. I know what to do. And I'm picking up, and so I'm computing the whole time. Everything you say, I'm thinking how to draw you back, and he said this, and I need to bring this up, and I'm starting to figure out your story as you're literally unpacking it.
Right.
As he walked in this house, he shook my hand, and then we came upstairs. We did an interview. He don't know me, I don't know him.
We don't know each other at all.
At all, so I don't know his history. I get to learn, and for me, what I'm enjoying now is just as a timestamp which somebody could go back, especially if they look like us, and learn and be inspired by two people exchanging information. And it hopefully empowers them to go and try and be themselves a little bit. So I heard him say voice acting. He started, washing refrigerators, definitely at the Home Depot and the Best Buy, and then the lack of belief, then more belief, and then moving back home, helping his mom. These are empowering things that hopefully give someone insight that, hey, it's not that bad. Yeah. And if it is that bad, it can always get better. Based on your choices.
Yep.
Based on your choices, man.
And everybody that's watching too, not to cut you off.
No,
if
go
you
ahead,
have a
bro.
YouTube channel, I always tell this to Jamil. I always tell this to Stan. If you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to build it, YouTube is free. Like YouTube is free. You can upload as many times as you want.
Period.
It's free money. I'm knowing people that's making $500,000 a month off YouTube. I'm making a pretty good amount. Anybody could do this. You just have to be consistent. Don't watch the numbers too. Like my main advice to everybody is like when I upload, I just uploaded a Charleston White interview today. I don't even know how many views it got. I upload it, press the upload button, make sure the thumbnail's good, and I walk away because when you start a YouTube channel and you see the numbers are low, you kind of get discouraged. You can't do things based off the numbers. So that's my last message.
Hey, no, that's a very empowering. So they know I don't watch the numbers either, man.
Man, I don't read the comments or none of that.
I literally tell them, stay out the comments. They don't pay the bills.
They don't.
They will run the checkup.
They don't.
I said, and that's the beautiful thing, but it's got nothing to do with what we have planned.
Exactly.
So as long as we have a plan, guys, we'll be okay. And now we'll fine tune and adjust, but that's us introspectively looking at ways we can do better. It ain't got nothing to do with them, man. So, we need to create a better method. Yeah. All that other little stuff, man. So I thank you for that one, because that's right there.
Can I ask you a question for
Absolutely, man. Ask whatever.
Top 5 dog breeds.
So if you're going small dog, I'm a Jack Russell fan.
Overall dogs.
Okay.
Big, small, medium, overall, top 5.
I think a golden retriever is going to always be good if you're a family. If you're looking to a dog to start, meaning get into the house, and you want a small dog, Jack Russell will live forever. You guys that are you Frenchie fuckers, that is the worst dog to get because the long-term quality of life is not always there. And
they breathe real loud, don't they?
Man, say them and pugs, bro, all bad. If you want a protective dog, you might as well get a Dutch Shepherd or a Mal, because they're super shepherd like handler says, in my opinion, to be clear, people. The Rotties, believe it or not, I know you got one. Damn. I would never recommend one.
Oh my God. Why you say that?
Well, I actually have a Rottweiler breeder who's taken dogs from the US to compete in Germany and won up.
Are they German Rottweilers or American?
German. And he'll tell you they're too spazzy, man. People who show in the AKC will say like they don't trust them. Most vets don't trust them. Rots, they got a little something that's off, man. And we've already talked about Doberman. I wouldn't recommend that, but just top breeds, man. I like a good sheepdog, so maybe a Tibetan Mastiff, but they bark all night.
Yeah.
And then I got to be honest, I love a pit bull, man.
Over a rock. Wow.
A pit bull's an independent thinker. If you got a real pit bull, the ones that exist today aren't real. A real pit bull with 200 years of history, you won't have to teach it nothing. If you have a family, nothing will ever bother you either. I asked the guy once, hey, I heard that the boar bull's dangerous, can be reactive. I said, what would I get to manage a boar bull? He said, a good pit bull. I said, really? He says, oh, yeah. He said, because he ain't that fast. He said that pit bull will work his ass and keep him in line. A real one, to be clear. We're talking about a 65-pound dog that is motivated and has good fucking sense. So my top 5 breeds, man, if you need a dog to protect your house, definitely going to be a Mal or a Dutch Shepherd, just in my opinion.
I always see German Shepherds as people's top
Hips
of the
too
list.
bad. Hips too bad, man. It's too much. It's
Those
too
are
much.
like the dog, the canine dogs that for the police and shit.
Yeah. But they've now gotten to the Mals because the German Shepherd sheds a lot too, man. And the Mals do a little bit, but that German Shepherd, you can pull hair out the hips and sides. It's just hair everywhere. It's awful, man. It's fucking awful, bro. So you don't want that. But a Dutch and a Mal, they're wiry. They require way too much energy. But if I had to say, like, lead this dog out here, and you want to know a dog even better than all those dogs, is a Black Russian Terrier. That dog can be left for 3 months with food, given a task, and guard. They did it in Russia back in the day. And it could guard an environment.
So wait. I want to get too far off topic.
No,
when you said rock, right? Well, dogs that like spaz out and they like flip on their owner, is that the owner's fault or is that just the dog breed?
So in this case, good question for one. It is not the owner's fault a lot of times, and sometimes it is. But objectively, there's a guy who reached out to me and says, hey, what happens if I breed these 2 Rots? And I said, well, what are you asking? Because he's asking me. I said, I don't know anything about Rottweilers like that. He said, well, this is a son and a daughter. I said, oh, so you're line breeding? Yeah. I said, well, how bad is this? How bad is the granddad? He couldn't tell me that. How bad is the dad? He could. Well, I got him. How bad is the mom? And now you're using the uncle. So what happens is once you get into breeds like yours, the Rottweiler, who has a history and it looks the same every time, right? Now we're really doubling down on character. So now you have to be very sensitive to like, yo, am I creating a fucking crazy dog? Or it's just going to be a good dog? And a balanced dog is hard to come by now because, well, I want it to have more muscle, social media. I want it to have a bigger head, social media. I'm no longer honoring the breed. We're no longer taking it to compete. So social media. So in some cases, what do you actually change when we're talking about a Rottweiler, right? Nothing. You change one thing, you have a problem. And there's a show called The Old Man. You seen it? Man, the dude, the dude from Blade, the dude that helped Blade, Wesley, he's got 2 Rots, and there's a shot where this Rot is chewing on this Joker's neck, make you want to go get a Rottweiler. And they're nice dogs, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh. And so a Rot is good if it's well balanced. The challenge is we're getting to that freakish stage. And even the guy was selling me, well, so-and-so creates freaks. Well, that's not always good. But we're talking about a live wire and a fucking animal. Especially a dog like a Rottweiler who's super capable, right? We're talking 120 to 180 pounds depending on what you're doing with that Rottweiler and where it comes from. They're not small dogs. There's no Rot under a buck. How much yours weigh?
How much mine weigh now? Like 110, 120?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no Rottweiler under 100 pounds, to be clear. And it's probably 20 plus inches at the withers. Yeah, no. So you know, yeah. So you go, look, I'm talking about real life scenarios and situations. I like them for protection if they come from good people, to be clear. You get a good Rot, it's super motivated. It can bark and shake a whole door. So it'll definitely deter.
So why you didn't name bulldogs?
Oh, they're the worst. If you Google bulldog, it says plethora of problems.
So wait, what was the dog that you showed me? No, okay.
Yeah.
Bully, bulldog.
Oh, they're just as bad. The American bully just as bad, which is why we're getting away from it as far as we can.
Okay.
He asked me about breeding. I said, "Man, look, this is it.
Yeah.
Once I get through about 2-3 more, bro, we'll be so involved in even what you're talking about, the business. I don't got time for that shit, man. It's not. I'm not even interested at that point.
What about the Cane Corso?
No.
Really?
No.
That's becoming
no.
That dog's becoming a thing now, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. So just like popularity, you talked about saturation in your market, right?
Yeah.
And knowing to pivot. When something becomes popular, the objective of it changes because now we're no longer honoring a dog who has a century worth of history. Now we're talking about a dog that we're breeding for the purposes of likability and not facts. And we're talking 160, 180, 200 plus and stupid. And I don't mean that they're stupid, but they're defensive, they're wiry, they're just weirdos, man. And they're not good dogs. I don't care what nobody says. Shout out to our guy Max Train. He's got some decent one out there. And I've literally had them on leash and pet some of them. So I know his aren't bad. Make sure you're asking your breeder, is it a game? Is it gamey? Is it this, that? But I would not recommend a Cane Corso.
So, but pit bulls got the worst reputation out of everybody, and you like pits.
Only because of the people who use the dog to fight. But if we're talking about a well-balanced dog that will fight to the death and protect your family and actually have sense, a pit's so confident. Imagine you meet a guy and he tells you he's Special Ops Navy SEAL. You know he's been through the fucking David Goggins. David Goggins, he's talking about there's some guys he knows that are better than him. That's the part he probably hasn't alluded to. There's some guys that probably got more skills than Goggins. Hell, we met a guy last night who has taken bombs, been stabbed 2 or 3 times. Special Ops. He's the only thing I'm grateful for is getting on my knees every day and thanking God I'm still here for me and my family. He says, I don't talk about everything that I've done. David Goggins is the loudest voice, but he probably knows some niggas that he ain't talked about that are colder than him. And you know, that's a pit bull. See, he knows that when you barking, you just playing. He's like, oh, he's just playing. It's like Tyson being picked on. Stop it. It's like Tyson, stop it, man. You don't want me to come about this seat. I'll beat you to death.
Yeah.
You don't have his skill. But mind you, we're not talking about Tyson being tough. We're talking 50 years old and still on that bag and that human 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So a pit bull, because it was bred with confidence, because it was bred with certainty, because it was bred to survive. You're talking about a dog you can't stop. You literally have to kill it. So that's if it's perfect.
I heard the jaw lock is not real though.
It's not. They just more motivated than other dogs. They ain't coming off that thing. So guys, listen. Sean, thank you so much.
Remind me of your dog. Hey, I appreciate you too though.
Hey, thank you so much.
I didn't want this to end. That's why I kept asking.
No. We'll do a little light one with these 2 guys. I definitely want to make sure everybody gets on here while you're here, man. Another 30-minute smacker. But I got to interview Shawn Cotton from Say Cheese TV.
Yeah.
He's got his thing rocking, man. I appreciate all the gems. Jamil's brought in some gems that you've given him.
Is this audio or video?
Both.
Oh, okay. So only video on me.
No, it's on me too.
Oh, it's 2 of them. Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay.
I have the Osmo, so
Got
with
you.
how I speed it up.
Yep.
9x16, I just drop mine right over.
Yep. Smart motherfucker.
Drop the audio down. You're like, boom, this will be done literally. It'll render out and be up like that because
That's tough.
it speeds up the whole process, man. But this is a guy who knows what he's doing. Clearly, I've learned something about the fence. I've got to learn more to be clear. Yep. He's got dogs, so that's why he knows Stan and our guy Jamil, man, bro.
Oh, and this is my dad probably calling me about the 6.
Go ahead, man, guys. Stay motivated and thank you for listening.